I remember fondly as a child really loving jump rope. What could possibly go wrong?
Hey y'all, I'm Ariel and I'm teaching myself how to jump rope. Now, I have jumped rope before, as a child. Really loved it, was the queen of jump roping. Nobody could jump faster or higher or for longer than the girl Ariel, right? But you know who scammed me? Nintendo Switch. So I bought a Nintendo Switch over the summer so I make my way through the pandemic, right? And they put out a free game called Jump Rope Challenge, right? And what you do is you put the Joy-Cons in your hands and you kind of just make the motion of like jumping rope, right? And it counts on the game how many times you jump up. And so I would do that like during my Pomodoro breaks. So I use the Pomodoro method while I'm like studying or like writing. So I was doing this while I was writing my dissertation proposal, right? So it's like 25 minutes of working, 5 minutes for a break, and you do that over and over again for about an hour, and then you get a 15-minute break, right? And so like during like my little 15-minute breaks, I would try and get in like 500 jumps, right? So I got curious one day and like just YouTube, like, Jump Rope Challenge, the name of this Nintendo game. And so I watched a few videos of people doing it. People are crazy. They're doing all types of crazy challenges. There's like people who are doing like 10,000 jumps a day or like 1,000 jumps in a short amount of time, just stuff like that. But also after I searched that, other jump rope challenge videos started coming up in my suggested page on YouTube, right? And these were people using like a real rope, and they were doing challenges like you start off with 100 jumps and then you add 100 jumps a day until you get to like 1,000. And like these girls were like really like they would start off the week like real tired and like whoo girl, and then like by the end of the week they out here like jump rope champions and beasts or whatever, doing tricks and whatnot or whatever. And like me having had these fond memories of like childhood jump rope or whatever, I was like, well, let me try. This is perfect for the little pandemic we in, right? I ain't gotta go nowhere. I ain't gotta spend a whole lot of money. And anybody gotta see me. I ain't even gotta get dressed, right? As you gonna see in these videos, I'm in my bonnet, right? All I had to put on was a sports bra and we was good to go. And some shoes. And we was good to go. I decided that I would start with 100 and try and work my way up to 1,000. But I didn't have a set amount of days because my main goal is consistency. I'm not trying to be nobody's athlete. I'm not trying to lose no weight. Like my goal is not weight loss or whatever. My goal is to learn consistency with fitness and movement or whatever, so that, fitness is like a regular part of my life eventually, right? Like it ain't nothing for me to like wake up in the morning and do a little exercising or like in the afternoon and do like whatever time fits best for me. It's just like a normal part of my week. Every few days Earl does, a little something with a body, right? So that's my main goal. And like maybe my longer term goal is to like have the kind of like cardio fitness and like energy to like when I go traveling or whatever and I decide to like climb mountains and waterfalls or whatever. When I get to the top, I don't want to feel tired and run down like and I want to get to the top and still have energy, because I still gotta get back down. And I want to, and like I've done that thing before, but I want to do it better. It's like usually when I travel, I find a hike and I go on it, and it's fine. I never like passed out or felt like overly tired or whatever. But I want to be like, I want to do it and feel, like I can do it again. So that's my goal. So here's a breakdown of how my week went. Day 1, I was able to do about 100 jumps. And that was just my goal for day 1. And it took me about 3 minutes. I kept tripping up over my rope. It was a little ghetto. That was fine. Day 2, I also did 100 jumps. And like both times it took about 3 minutes. And day 2 was also already an improvement on day 1. Because on day 1, after the 100 jumps, things were burning and, you know, I was tired. But on day 2, you know, things weren't so bad. I was still tripping up on the rope a lot like I was on day 1. But like, you know, my heart wasn't, you know, beating super hard or whatever. Afterwards, like later that night, the area behind my knee started getting sore. I don't know how to describe that area. It's like the armpit of your knee, that area back there, like where you straighten your leg out. It just got like tight and sore or whatever. It wasn't any type of pain. But I decided to take the next day off. So day 3, I come back. I feel like I can make 150. I do 150 in the same 3 minutes I did 100. The first 100's in on day 1 and day 2. Before I started on day 3, I shortened my rope. I went on the interwebs again and found out that there's a such thing as a rope being too long. That tremendously helped me in day 3 get into 150. And so I was able to do like sets of 50, which was way longer than I was able to do in day 1 and day 2. I think I learned that I like the whole 2 days on, 1 day off thing. Where like I jump rope for 2 days, then the 3rd day I take a rest, and then do it over again. I think that's something I want to stick to for now. All right, so day 4, I did 200 jumps, and it took me about 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Then on day 5, I also did 200 jumps because I felt like I couldn't do no more after that. But it took me 5 minutes and 15 seconds. It's because like my ankles and my calves were sore. I just couldn't, it just hurt. I had to do my 200. It took me a little bit longer because it was hurting. It wasn't pain, it was soreness. Like, I know there's a difference. It just felt like I had been using them after not having used those muscles in a very long time. I also learned on day 5 that counting can like throw off your rhythm. When I get somewhere around like 59 or whatever, I start like losing track of what number I'm on. And so like if I'm thinking about that while I'm also trying to like keep rhythm with the jumping, first of all, I forget what number I'm on. And second of all, I get tripped up on the rope because I'm doing too much. I start having to do like math and stuff. Well, before I was on 59, then I did 17 more, and now I was doing too, you know, I was doing too much. And so day 6, I did 250, which is an upgrade from the 200. And it took me about 5 minutes and 45 seconds. And on day 7, I did 273, and it took me about 7 minutes. I have no idea why it took me so long on day 7. Maybe it was extra hot that day. I don't think I was particularly sore, but I did trip up a lot on day 7. I don't know. It just took a long time. Don't ask me why. So what I learned from this first week of teaching myself how to jump rope, I learned that you need a rope that's the right length. My rope in the first 2 days was way too long, and I was tripping up way too much. Couldn't even consistently do more than like 30 jumps. And I was like, what is happening? My rope was too long. It was catching on everything. It was tangling up below my feet. Rope was too long. Second thing I learned is there's such thing as a good form of jump roping. I did not know that until this week, but it's apparently really important for us old folks to know so we don't hurt ourselves. And there's number 3, another thing about not hurting yourself. I saw a whole lot of people who jumped into like those challenges, who haven't jumped rope in a long time like I have, who jumped into those challenges and like halfway through or right after, they ended up with some kind of like lower leg injury that has them out the game for like 2 to 6 weeks or whatever. That would ruin my whole goal, which is consistency, which is why like my jump rope sessions have been so short and sweet and like to the point, and like I'm just doing this today, I'm doing what I can today and stopping. It's because I ain't trying to get hurt, right? Because if I get hurt, that's gonna ruin everything, right? And I know like towards the end of the week, my cardiovascular fitness was way better, and I knew I could jump for way longer, but I know that your tendons and muscles take way longer to catch up to the intensity of exercise than your heart and lungs. So you can push through that, like some people say, push through the pain or whatever, and your tendons and muscles, but then you can end up with shin splints, then you can end up with like all types of injuries in your knees or whatever. Don't do it. Like I've done like Couch to 5K in the past, and those first 2-3 weeks are super easy, but it's there for a reason. It's so that you can build up the muscles in your legs correctly, so you don't go full speed ahead and like, yeah, you might have ran your mile in 6 minutes, but now you can't run again for 2 months. You know, because you don't hurt yourself, and now you gotta heal and put Bengay on it or whatever. And so next week, I'm gonna go for time. So I think my first goal is to make it to where I can skip for 5 minutes consistently. So I'm gonna start off with like 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, and then gradually increase the time jumping until I can do a full 5 minutes. That's my goal for week 2. It might last longer than 2 weeks. I'm not in a rush. This is supposed to be like, me learning a new thing I'm incorporating into my life, not like a quick like weight loss situation like a lot of these jump rope videos are. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm team, Hayes, team health at every size. This is not what you're looking for here. I will say along my fitness journey, right, if something like drastically changes about my body, I will mention it, right? But like, there will always be like a content warning or whatever for the girls who have like, eating disorder issues, and I ain't trying to trigger them on I'm going to make, I'm claiming it now, an intuitive eating, health at every size friendly YouTube channel. If you don't know what that is, I'll probably eventually make a video about it, because I've been doing this thing for a couple of years now. I want to let people know about it, because there's not a lot of people who talk about it on YouTube. But anyways, I'll see you at the end of week 2 for some updates or whatever if I have them. That's it, and that's all.